But they took them over shipboard because it did any crashes. The course there.
Yeah, you remember that series show, Black Sheep?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said, yeah, my history teacher was there with Bulletin Squadron.
Evidently, they were really a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, pretty much, but they had some good stories, you know. That was one thing, with my age, since I'm a little bit younger than you guys, I had the pleasure, you know, privilege of having teachers who were actually there doing the stuff.
I should imagine being a history teacher is quite easy because it's already happened.
Yeah, but there's a difference between history, what happened, and history as is written in the books.
Oh, tell me, can you imagine going to read the history books in Russia? The last time that Vladimir Putin stood up on the parade day, he told everybody that they won the war. The Second World War, they won it.
What they called the Flying Tigers, wasn't that the group?
You're talking about Bulletin Squadron?
Yeah, but I know the Black Sheep Squadron was the name of the TV show. But I think in real life it was called the Flying Tigers, wasn't it?
I think you may be right on that. I'd have to look it up.
You're a pilot, Matt.
No, I'm a passenger.
Oh, I'm me. I'm frightened. But by the sound it, Mel's the pilot, Joe's the pilot. I didn't know you were into planes, Joe.
4 years ago.
For the record, I am not a pilot. I work with the airlines.
Oh, well, that's even more important that you get your job right. Anyway, how else am I going to find out which one crashed and which engine cowling blew up and which emergency doors and didn't know what was not there when the plane landed if I didn't speak to you?
The news, I mean, we get information about it, but nothing that's not already out public.
I'd like to meet the gang who actually covered the emergency door exit with cellophane paper and some 3-inch or 4-inch gaffer tape. I'm amazed that I wonder if they flew that plane at 30,000 feet again with cellophane wrapper covering the door.
They probably kept it at about 12,000 and got it to the closest refit facility.
I don't think they'd be able to take off with the door missing, would they? It's an intricate part of the construction of the plane. Mind you, I suppose it's easier to get the dead out if the door's not in the way.
Yeah, they've actually had aircraft fly, talking about that with the cargo bin door would be open and they'd be flying and never lose a piece of luggage.
Well, doesn't the light come on the dashboard, or does either one pilot say to us, oh, the cargo door light's on, and then the captain says, well, take the bulb out, we can't have that on the whole flight?
Well, I'm not going to say they'll take the bulb out, but I have had them tell me I was clear to push, the lights are out, because that's one of the pre-checks as to whether or not that door is open or closed. And start pushing, make my turn, and find out that forward cargo bin was open.
Did you hear about the ferry that over here once, the Brugger ferry, was it? They left the dock with the back door, the loading door open. The dock sank. I wonder why they thought they could get away with it, to leave the dock with the loading back door load or the front door loaded open on the ferry. November 3 Tango Zulu, some of these people are crazy, you know, they think they can hold the water back, Joe.
Yeah, Roger. You talking about Mel, you were talking about taking that plane to the nearest airfield where they do a repair. You got a big one right there in Jacksonville. That's the Naval Air Base. I spent 5 miserable days in that place. We were flying down from Pennsylvania. We were going to Gitmo, and a DC-4, which is like a DC-3 with 4 motors, little ones, and one of the engines started spewing oil over the wings, and by the time we got near Florida, smoke was pouring out. That idiot pilot, he should have landed a lot sooner than he did. But it sucked in a valve, and we had a leak, and it had a whole new engine put on there, and it was miserable hot, that base.
Yeah, over there, I know over there at the NAS Jacks, they have, it's called an AIMD, it's an intermediate repair facility where they would definitely take care of stuff like that. And then if you remember Cecil Field, the military turned Cecil over to civilians, and they run a lot of heavy commercial aircraft maintenance out of Cecil Field. And even SpaceX was trying to get a couple pads set up over there.
So in addition to the Cape.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Proximity? Proximity, I guess. I don't know. But they were trying to get a couple pads set up here. And then, what was it? I think Savannah, Georgia. I want to say Savannah was trying to get a couple SpaceX pads up there.
And it seems like money's no object.
No. Well, did you guys hear that? I guess SpaceX is going to have to do a rescue because NASA's rocket is grounded or whatever and can't get up to the space station to retrieve the guys and bring them back.
As long as they don't bring the Russians back, we'll be happy.
We're all human. We all have to do what our government tells us to do, whether we agree with it or not.
Oh.
And I don't think the Russians are that forthcoming with how many pilots got killed in their early space program.
Still floating about in space now, aren't they? It's a pity we haven't got a few more rockets. We could put a few more in there than they're floating about in space.
Well, we got a couple out on the space station right now that we can't bring them back right now.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Money?
Nope, because they're waiting until the next ARRL content.
Okay, well, that's not what I was talking about.
I'm talking about the Boeing Skyliner.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Well, I can't take the name of it, but yeah, I was just reading that article yesterday.
Yeah, they said, we want to let you know that they're not stranded. However, we can't currently bring them back.
Well, you talked about the Russians with the rockets and stuff. You ever read that story where that amateur operator picked up that Russian signal? I think it was like one of the early rockets where they were trying, holler and scream and everything as they were burning up.
I heard the recording of that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, if you guys had heard it.
Yeah, I heard that one. And they still denied it happened.
Joe, you were talking about when you was in there with the, my dad was in during that time. I'm sure you've heard of Gary Powell before, but he was over there on the tarmac the night that he took off.
Say the name again.
Gary Powell, the guy who got shot down with a P-3, or not the P-3, but a damn spy plane.
V2.
U-2, yeah. Yes, U-2.
Yeah, Gary something.
Yeah, but my dad was on the tarmac at night guarding that aircraft right before it took off.